Hey Keto friends, welcome back to another episode of All Day I Dream About Food. Today I'm excited to show you the famous Canadian treat, Nanaimo bars. Of course, these are keto style Nanaimo bars and they're absolutely delicious. If you've never heard of them, stay tuned because you're going to want this recipe. The first step to making keto Nanaimo bars is to make some sugar-free pastry cream. Now, traditional Nanaimo bars actually take something called custard powder. It doesn't have any sugar, but it has plenty of carbs from the cornstarch, so we don't want to go there. So I came up with a healthier workaround by making my own pastry cream for the filling. You want to do this first before you make anything else for the bars because it needs to cool for a little while. So here I have 2 egg yolks, and I'm going to add a 1/4 cup of powdered swerve sweetener. I'm also going to add just a pinch of salt. And now we're going to whisk these until they're well combined and a little bit lighter in color. That looks about right, so we're going to move on and we're going to heat our cream. So I have 2/3 cup cream here, and I'm going to bring it to just a simmer. Once you've got your cream at a simmer, you want to temper your egg yolks. Tempering refers to slowly bringing up the temperature of the yolks by adding a little bit of the cream at a time and whisking it in. This makes sure it doesn't curdle when you add the yolks back into the cream. And now you're slowly going to add the egg yolks back into what remains of the cream in the pan. And you want to whisk and watch it carefully until it thickens. This is going to take about 3 to 4 minutes. You know your pastry cream is thickened enough when you are whisking it and it just moves slower and you see the lines of your whisk in the cream. But you want to remove it from heat right away as it thickens up. If your pastry cream thickens too much and your eggs curdle, I have a rescue tip for you. Simply pop it in a blender and blend the heck out of it, or use an immersion blender. It'll smooth it right back out. Now we're going to add a little bit of butter. I have 1.5 tablespoons of butter here, and I have cut it into chunks so that it melts a little more easily. And you're also going to add 1.5 teaspoons of vanilla extract. And you can just keep whisking until it's all melted, and then you can set it aside for a little while. For the crust, we have 1/2 cup of butter, and I've melted it over low heat. And then I'm just going to add 1/3 cup of cocoa powder and whisk that in. I'm also going to add another 1/4 cup of powdered swerve sweetener. Now whisk these together until it's smooth. And then we're going to add 1 lightly beaten egg. You just want to drizzle that in slowly as you whisk. Now we're going to remove it from heat and add 1 cup of almond flour, 3/4 cup of shredded coconut. If you don't like coconut, you can add more almond flour. 1/2 teaspoon of vanilla extract. Nanaimo bar crust usually takes some chopped nuts. You don't have to put them in if you don't want to, but here I have 1/2 cup of chopped pecans. I like to use a rubber spatula to really work the ingredients into each other. I have a 9x9 pan here because I like my bars to be a little bit on the thinner side and also be wider when I cut them. So you're going to transfer your crust mixture to your pan and you're going to press it firmly into the bottom. There's really no need to grease the pan because the crust ingredients have plenty of grease already. So you're going to press this in with your hands as evenly as you can. And it is a little greasy, so if you don't like that, you can always put some wax paper on top. But I just get my hands dirty. And if you really want to get it in there super evenly, you can take a flat bottomed glass and just press it down all over. And now our crust is ready for the fridge. You want it to firm up completely before you put the filling in. Moving on to the Nanaimo bar filling. Here I have 4 ounces of softened cream cheese. Cream cheese isn't in traditional Nanaimo bars, but it helps give the filling a little more structure. I also have a 1/4 cup of softened butter. And I'm going to beat these 2 together. Now we can add our nice thick pastry cream. And we'll beat that again until it's smooth. Now you're going to add a little more sweetener to both thicken the filling and sweeten it. I like to use about 6 tablespoons of powdered swerve. You could use a little more or less depending on your tastes. Now you can just put the filling right on top of the crust. My favorite tool for doing this is one of these little offset spatulas from Keto. It costs less than $5, and honestly, it's probably one of the most used pieces of kitchen equipment in my kitchen. Spread it as evenly as you can, all the way to the edges. And now we need to refrigerate this for 1 hour to firm up the filling. Okay guys, we are in the home stretch, I promise. Right now we're gonna work on the chocolate topping for our Nanaimo bars. I always recommend melting chocolate double boiler style like this, with a heat-proof bowl set over a pan of simmering water. So in this bowl I have 3 ounces of dark chocolate, sugar-free dark chocolate chopped, and I've added about 2 tablespoons of butter. And you're just gonna stir these together until they are nice and smooth, but you keep an eye on it and you keep your heat low so they don't seize. And once your chocolate is nice and smooth and melted and mixed in with the butter, you just are going to pour it over, and you're going to spread your chocolate all the way to the edges. Now you can just pop it back in the fridge for about 20 minutes to get the chocolate to set. And there you have it, my friends. Gorgeous, perfect keto Nanaimo bars. One taste of these luscious bars and you'll instantly understand why they are Canada's favorite dessert. Oh, so good. Do I have chocolate on my face?